everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Gamesline podcast. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? We are live for another episode. It's me, John. How's it going? Ready to talk about gaming? Again. Everyone loves gaming. Everyone loves talking about gaming. Everyone loves doing gaming. Yes, hello, it's me, John. I'm here to host this week. And joining me is Lorelai. Lorelai, how are you today?
I'm here. I'm very excited. This is good. It's been a good week. Good birthday week for my girlfriend. It's been good times. Good Halloween season.
Good. I'm glad. And Crystal, you're here. Hello.
Oh, long day at the mines.
The mines? What were you mining for?
Copper. In the mines outside, whatever the first town in RuneScape is called.
Don't ask me. I never played that one. I know about the gnome, and that's it. I know the gnome. That's all I know from RuneScape. Did anybody get up to anything on Halloween?
I had a really nice little Halloween party. At my girlfriend's brother hosted a really nice little Halloween party that was pretty fun. There's nothing weirder than doing karaoke in a room full of professional opera singers. It's really quite intimidating.
That seems a little intimidating. But I mean, you still went for it, right? No, you didn't hold back. You went for it. All right, that's all you gotta say.
Played a bunch of Smash and board games and chatted with opera singers.
Nice. What are opera singers talking about these days? What's the main topic lately for opera?
Mostly these days they're just talking about how La Boheme is starting in Portland pretty soon.
So, I have no idea what that is, but okay.
It's an opera.
Is that an opera?
That's all I know.
Safe guess, but
get ready to go see my first ever opera in like a week and a half.
That sounds nice.
It's exciting.
Well, good luck. Crystal, how about you? Did you do anything special for Halloween?
Tell you what I didn't get. I didn't get any leftover candy. The kids took it all.
Ah,
that's the worst thing in the world.
Well, the kids probably enjoy it more than I would.
That's not true. Candy's great. Kids haven't had enough experience in their lives to appreciate a sweet treat. Things are still, they don't understand how tough it is out there. So they just, everything's a sweet treat to them at this point.
What candy?
The kids don't have any money, whereas I can simply go to the store and purchase some discount Halloween candy.
It's only like a 25% discount now. It's not 50% off anymore.
They got Wise.
Yeah, there's too much. It's too expensive.
Well, are you gonna hop on that? Is there any candy that you specifically want to do it, or?
I like the sour candies. I like the gummy worms, the Sour Patch Kids. That's my bag, baby, as Austin Powers would say.
He would say that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm a fan of the gummies, of the chocolate candies. The only thing I really like is like a Reese's peanut butter cup, maybe a Twix.
I enjoy a candy bar, like a chocolate.
Yeah,
Almond Joy. I love Almond Joy.
I mean, it does have almonds and joy.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a big candy guy, but when the opportunity arises, I do kind of go a little. I go a little hard. I'm not gonna lie.
You want to rephrase that a little?
I go a little hard. Not
there.
Get.
You go.
Go. I said go. I said go. I don't get horny about chocolate. Wrong episode. We're not doing another one of those. Maybe ever, but at least not for a while. No, I go hard for chocolates and candies when it's available, but only sometimes. But anyway, gaming did occur. We are still gamers of the season. We did stream on Halloween. That's what I did. More specifically, Lily streamed and I was there. For her to finish Signalis, and that affected her. I'm just gonna say, I can't speak fully for her, but it was we were silent during the credits. We just kind of absorbed that, and had a conversation afterwards that's on the stream. And she's gonna edit it all. She's gonna edit stuff. We're gonna have those videos out eventually, but It seemed like it hit her pretty hard in a good way, and so I'm glad about that, because I recommended that to her a while ago. I think I might have even bought that copy that she played on the stream, like the PC version that she played, for like a sale for like a birthday or something. I don't know, but I'm glad that she seemed to really dig it.
Those streams were so good. Like, y'all, I'm very excited. I'm really excited that we've been streaming a little more. I know we've got more plans coming up, but those were so much fun to tune into. The Dead Space stream was great. Like, I'm really glad we're doing a lot more stuff like that. It's been really fun. It's been really, really, really fun.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to do more Dead Space, but I know that Nicholas wants to do something soon, so we'll see how he goes. I don't know if I'll be joining in on that one, because I think they're going to be playing an RPG that is in a series that I haven't gotten to that one yet. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm just going to say I think he wants to do something that I can't participate in without spoiling myself, so that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm a little glad that both glad and also maybe just because it would have been I'm okay with showing my emotion, but in a sense I am glad that we didn't have webcams on for that, because I was crying. That game makes me cry, like oh my god, it's so good.
Beautiful game.
What makes that game so affecting?
It's just a very powerful love story of perseverance through the inevitable.
I'll do it.
Put it simply, yeah. It's heartbreaking, but beautiful at the same time, in my opinion. Yep. But further games occurred. Further games continued to happen during this era.
The era of games.
Yes, and I guess we could start off with you, Lorelai, because you do have multiple things on your list. So we can sort of get through what you've got going on.
So I didn't have a ton of time to play video games this week because the World Series was happening, and for some reason I care about baseball for like 2 weeks out of every year. And that was freaking incredible to watch. We did my girlfriend and I did a lot of stuff. She's a Dodger fan. I'm a Blue Jays fan, so it was extra fun. But between those, I did snag the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remaster, which is why old Erdic's little descendant here is my background. Hey, those are really, really awesome. Those are phenomenal, remasters so far. I'm only a little bit in, for Dragon Quest 1. And as somebody who has played Dragon Quest 1 multiple times over the past 40 years since it came out, I genuinely am shocked at how good it is, how well done it is. I talked about it before on WordBrain when we did our PAX roundup podcast, talking about all the different stuff we did at PAX. But what's the word I'm thinking of? These are actually playing the full versions of these, between the voice acting and the amount of story that is there. Like, literally, you got more story in Smash Ultimate than you did in the original releases of Dragon Quest 1 and 2. You got more story on the hero from fucking Smash than you did in the original games. And all of a sudden, now there's, like, a lot of story. All of the characters are characters instead of, like, just like, hey, here's a person saying, hey, go to the poison swamp.
Okay, that's good.
It's like you've got a lot more skills you have access to in Dragon Quest 1 because you're still stuck with one character. And it is really nice to see an updated version of a game that is both updated and like significantly improved upon. Mm-hmm. It's the same game. You go to the same places in the same order, but it's also a significantly different game in that there is a story and characters. And it's really just it's really fun to see, and I honestly can't wait to continue. I'm only about halfway through 1, which is not a long game. Mm-hmm. But I found myself doing a thing I don't do often in old RPGs, which is talking to people in towns and whatnot, rather than just, hey, get my next quest objective. I'm going, hey, what did they add to this? What did they do? And it turns out they did a lot, and it's very, very cool.
Sure. I guess we could sort of bounce off of this with a question in the chat here. Safia asks, does Dragon Quest 1 Remaster feel overstuffed? That was my biggest worry seeing it was 20 hours. DQ1 is the perfect 8-hour RPG distilled to its core mechanical and thematic essence. Does it feel more like a traditional RPG compared to the platonic ideal of an RPG? Yeah, how do you feel about, like, you know, you're saying they added stuff and all that, but how do you feel about that, all the stuff that they add to sort of... Do you feel like it's just padding, or do you think that all that stuff feels natural?
No, I feel like it adds a lot. Like that's the thing. I don't think it's a 20-hour RPG. I think they added enough that it's 20 hours, that if you want to do all the optional stuff... but if you just want to play the original Dragon Quest, it's maybe 10 hours because you get a little bit more story if you aren't skipping the cutscenes. But if you're skipping the cutscenes and whatnot and essentially playing the original version, you're gonna get a 6 to 8 hour game. It's okay. It is still Dragon Quest, but you also have more abilities to make it go a lot easier. There's a whole lot. I've got a whole lot of abilities to just go, oh, I can kill everything in here without, the ability to change your weapon whenever you choose an attack. So it's like, oh, I've got 3 of these guys left and 1 of another. I'm going to use my whip to kill all 3 of these, and then I'm going to switch to my axe to kill the other guy. And I don't need to, it's the quality of life is great. And, I think I really like a remaster that isn't just like, that adds 2 things, but doesn't change the core. Like, the Final Fantasy VII remasters change the core. They are a sequel for all intents and purposes. But this it's a remake. It's an HD 2D remake. It's not a remaster. Sure. It is the game with more. Same with, like, I'm excited for Dragon Quest 2 because it sounds like they added a whole second game to it. When I get there. I'm still, like, kind of shocked. I was reading a review this morning that was saying they didn't really do anything to Dragon Quest 1. And that was extremely confusing because it feels like they did a ton to...
I mean, I guess if maybe they didn't do anything to Dragon Quest 1, like you said, but maybe all the stuff that's around what was already there is what they did, I suppose. You know, you look at it that way. Or they're just full of shit and they're wrong, you know? Who could say, you know?
Yeah. But no, it's been a lot of fun, and it's gorgeous. It honestly is the way I prefer, like, HD 2D games to be. I think some of them... There have been some 8 games in the HD 2D front that I think are actively worse because of the HD 2D. Backgrounds are too high res, so they get muddy and whatnot. But this honestly feels like they just made a Super Nintendo. They just made Dragon Quest on the Super Nintendo instead.
Which they did. They did that before. This is what the 5th or 6th remake of Dragon Quest 1 at this point.
Yeah. But it for me is the best of them because it adds something, because characters matter. Characters exist now. What the fuck?
What? Why? No.
Yeah. No, it's very like there's I have been delighted by it, and I'm actually excited to play more. I'm excited to finish Pokemon Za soon, but like for me right now, the Dragon Quest 1 is I want to get this done over the next few days before I have to leave to Seattle. But
sure.
It's nice to be excited by a game and going, hey, I am happy with Yeah.
You mentioned weapon switching. What other abilities did they add?
They added a whole lot of extra, just like quality of life stuff. Spells you can get that cut down on your encounters or increase them, or things like that were, I think, in the original, but not like. But I think they were all they added a lot of stuff that were just like items before as actual skills. And the nice ability to just shortcut spell, hey, how many more treasures do I have left on this floor to find if I want to collect everything? A lot of different spell additions. Essentially, they just took all of the skills you can get in later Dragon Quest games and put them into one. So you have a lot more options that you can do. And it does make things feel smoother and cleaner. And just fights are a lot easier. I'm having a lot less trouble than I did with the originals.
And what story stuff did they add exactly?
Pretty much everything. It has a story now. Before, it used to literally just be like, hey, go here, go here, go here. No one had a personality. It was very Final Fantasy 1, kind of just easy to get lost also. And this time around, the princess is actually a character.
What did she say?
It cuts away to her to see things from what she's going through, instead of just like, hey, here's a person you're going to find to get thing. You're not just, you're still doing the, hey, go here to get key. Hey, go here to get X item. Hey, go here to do that. But there's actual personality to characters instead of, here is a line of dialogue that they get.
Mm-hmm.
What's the princess's personality this time?
Actually, like, brave and constantly fighting and dealing with, like, the attempted corruption and not being corrupted. It's
corruption.
Like, there's a lot more in there. Like, actually having a character arc for characters is nice.
So would you say that the pacing is still pretty brisk?
It is. I'm kind of cruising through. Like, as I said, I feel like I'm about halfway through the game, and I've played for like 6 hours or so. Like, it's also pretty easy to grind if you want. I haven't been, and I'm, okay, yeah, I can get killed by four hits from monsters in here. But the autosave system is very, very generous.
Okay.
And nice. So it autosaves every time you get out of a battle, every time you change a floor. You are given spells almost right away that, hey, I can just teleport to a town from anywhere. So there's a lot of those which are just like, hey, we want you to get through this game. We don't want you to go through the NES RPG arc of getting lost in a dungeon and losing 3 hours of progress because you can only save if you hold select and start down at an inn.
Let me ask you this. Have you been forced to leave a dungeon in the middle to go back to town?
To heal? Yes, I have. Because I accidentally equipped some cursed armor.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
It's delight. And I've died multiple times. This is kind of nice. It's like, hey, I died and I didn't lose 3 hours of progress. I lost 5 minutes or even less than that because it just goes back to the last time you won a fight if you choose to use an autosave. Or you can go back to town or your previous actual save. It gives it's nice options.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And different difficulties are also nice.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. Let's see. Do you want to talk about your World Series experience? I mean, I know that you mentioned it a bit, but it is on this list. If so, I'm guessing you do want to speak on it.
I mean, it was pretty spectacular watching multiple, all that baseball with people who are fans of things. And I mean, it was an 8-game series. It ended in 8 games. Even though it was game 7, it was still 8 fucking games. You had 2 complete games in game 3. It was nuts.
I mean, how didn't the last game go in overtime too, or did I make that up?
Yeah, went 11 innings. It was wild, and then they almost tied it back up. It was an incredible play at the end of the game that ended it.
Wild.
I mean, this World Series has been it was 2 of the most evenly matched teams I've ever seen. So every game was I don't know who the fuck is going to win this. I said in game 1 to Andrea, I'm like, this series is going to go 7. And she was like, no, it's not. The Dodgers are going to win. And I'm like, nah, it's going to go 7. And just sure enough, every single game had me riveted. And baseball is very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I love sports. It was also very entertaining on Blue Sky, watching my Blue Sky timeline, just people who don't even give a shit suddenly give a shit for a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see here. Crystal, do you want to speak on what you've been playing?
Earlier today, I played an hour of old school RuneScape.
A single hour.
That's right. Now, I played a lot of that game when it was new, when I was in middle school, and have only briefly poked at it here and there since then. My old account from then, I can still log into, incredibly. So that game is an MMO, but it's kind of not, because it's very focused on single player questing. It's not about raids, certainly. It's not really about interacting with other players. Other players are just kind of there, and there's not much incentive to do anything with them except perhaps trade once in a while.
Okay.
Instead, it's a game about making your skill number go up. And I like that it's not just a game about killing the goblin. It's also a game where you can raise your cooking skill. You can make a campfire. You can go mining and you can bring the ore back to town and forge the ore, make runes to power your spells. It's a very good, shift numbers around in a graphical spreadsheet type game. I find it very satisfying on that front.
Yeah. That's like one of the MMOs I've wanted to get into because of that. I like the idea of an MMO where everything I do progresses something. And if I don't want to do something, I don't have to engage with it at all.
So what, what makes it so appealing other than is it just number go up, or is it just is there something else to it that you're really that keeps you coming back, or I guess keeps you playing for an hour?
There's also the presentation of it. It has a very distinctive low poly art style to it. It's got a great soundtrack that is just relaxing. It sucks you into the loop. It's just this kind of, low stakes, low seriousness fantasy universe, very like storybook style.
Okay.
Cause I, at this point, I often find myself getting annoyed or overwhelmed or just bored by like fantasy games with codexes in them, fantasy games that expect me to know the factions, to know the pantheons. And this is not really one of those. It's just go cook your bread for the castle cook type game.
Yeah. Go
Do you see yourself sticking with
engage.
it?
What was that?
Do you see yourself sticking with it?
Probably not. No, this is probably pop in now and then type game.
Okay.
You know me, I'm a dabbler. I love small doses.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. For John, I've just been playing Legends ZA. What else am I gonna do? I'm playing the new Pokemon game still.
Yeah.
I finished the game, the story. I've almost finished all of the side missions. I have 2 left, and it's just it's the one where you have to fight someone with just a Pikachu, and then it's the one where you have to fight someone with just a Raichu. So I'm just gonna do that, I guess. Just go get a good Pikachu, raise it up, battle, evolve it, do the other battle. That's it. But I'm actually also enjoying the multiplayer as well. The ranked match stuff that they've got going on. It's a little bit of a shit show, but it's kind of fun because it's a shit show, because it's just a battle royale thing where you and 3 other trainers all just rushing each other, and you're sending your Pokemon out. You can only switch your Pokemon 3 times before it stops you until you get knocked out. And that's literally it. It's just, you're just doing attacks. You're trying to knock out as many before they knock you out. It's a big old mess, but in a good way, I would say. Very different to what you would expect from normal Pokemon, for sure.
So my competitive deck isn't going to work?
No. My team, I copied it off of a YouTube video, I'm just going to say, I will admit it, but I did tweak it slightly. It's Gorgeist, because I have a big ass alpha giant Gorgeist. Like, it's an alpha and it's also extra large. That is also shiny. And then a shiny Talonflame, shiny alpha Talonflame, and then an alpha Avalugg, which is not shiny, but if I go find a shiny alpha Avalugg, I will use it. But I copied that off of a YouTuber, I'm a Blissey, if you've ever seen any of their videos. Good stuff if you like weird-ass, convoluted RNG manipulation explanations for old Pokemon games. But they also do occasional like competitive team building stuff as well. And so it's pretty much just the Gorgeist is because it has a Trick or Treat, which is a move that adds the ghost type to your opponent. And Ghost is strong against Ghost, so you just slap Ghost type on them and then use your own Ghost moves against them.
Nice. You Ghost to town.
Yeah. Avalugg is good because it is big as fuck, and it has Heavy Slam, which is a move that does more damage based on how much heavier it is, your Pokemon is compared to the other Pokemon. And Avalugg is over 1,000 pounds. So normally it is far, far more heavy than the other Pokemon. And then Talonflame is just a strong Pokemon. It's flying, so it can dodge ground type stuff. And I have it kind of like as a it's kind of sort of like a suicide hitter, in that it has Brave Bird and Flare Blitz, which do damage to yourself, but it's also holding a Shell Bell, so it heals a good amount of the damage that it does. So it's not always just knocking itself out. It will eventually, but, it's all about the balance, as it were. I'm digging it quite a bit, still.
I've been wanting to mess with that. Like, that's probably going to be my next thing once I finally finish the story. I made it to rank B, so I'm almost there.
Yeah, I think they are resetting the next season is starting like tonight or tomorrow or something like that. So, you're gonna, if you want your Delphoxite, you're gonna have to run through it again. And also, for those of you that were worried about the Greninjite, because that was the thing for last season, if you got to like rank K, I think you just have to get to like rank V in this season and you get one. So they're gonna give it to you. Like, I'm sure eventually it'll be like, yeah, we're just sending it to everybody now. Have fun. But that was a slight concern for a hot minute, and now it's just like, yeah, no, you're fine. You'll get it. So
yeah, they'll probably just keeping the stuff in there, just moving it up the letter ranks every time a new one comes in.
Yeah. But I'll keep messing around, maybe make some more teams. We will see, because, that's what the fun is. The big complaint that I have is just that they don't give you bottle caps fast enough in that game, for sure. Because you have to do a full battle royale. You have to get a ticket, which means you have to get 50,000 points worth of battles in the battle royale, which, you can do. You can do one per night pretty easily. But those still are 15, 20 minute runs that you have to do. And then you have to do another battle against like one of your rivals. And then if there's a chance that you'll get bottle caps, like most of the time you're getting like 3 nuggets or some level up candy or whatever. And it's like, that's not bad, but there should be a more consistent way to get bottle caps. Like, I bet they're going to be like, oh, here's a really consistent way to do it in the DLC, because they always do that, where they're just like, yeah, get the DLC.
We added a store to the neighborhood that you can buy bottle caps. Because at this point, I'm already like running out of things to spend money on. I've got like almost every clothing item and like freaking 100 plus of every kind of ball. It's like, and I'm not even doing a ton of extra money stuff. I'm just doing the Royale every night.
Yeah, which, I mean, we're saying all this, but I guess at a certain point it's like, probably just move on then, to stop playing it for now and then wait until something else comes out. Because we do already know that there's going to be some like DLC like side missions that they're going to be adding, not just in the like paid DLC, but there's like legendaries and stuff that haven't been brought back. Like Mewtwo and Diancie are both not in the game yet, so they're going to just be like probably like little patch things where they'll just be like, oh, here's a new side mission where you go catch Mewtwo, and so maybe that will have something that gives you bottle caps. I don't know, but yeah, because the thing is that like it's one of those things where I totally understand when people are upset about, locking stuff behind DLC, that makes things easier. But for Pokemon, it's like the DLCs are always so good that it's like, you should get them anyway. Like, it's kind of shitty that they're, just like the streamlining is locked behind the DLC. But if you like this game, you should just get the DLC anyway, because it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh hey, here, pay $5 and you get the like extra dungeon that lets you grind more. It's like, no, here's like a good batch of experiences. Here's some new content with new Pokemon and new environments and new stuff, and also you can get more items easier. It's just like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Is the system that is being streamlined currently fun to engage with?
I mean, yeah, because it's the battles. You just do the battles. So it's not like the only people that are pissed off about it are the people that don't want to do the battles. And then if you don't want to do the battles, you don't want to play the game. It's the people that are buying this game because it's Pokemon and they feel like they have to, for some reason, to complain about it online.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if you like this game, you get those items by playing the game. Like, literally the only thing is I would just say, because the bottle caps, which raise some of your stats for like competitive teams and stuff, for those of you who don't know, it's literally just, they just need to make them a little easier to get. Like, they just need to make like the percentage a little better. That's it. If they just made it so it was like, oh hey, like maybe every other time you do a battle royale, you get some bottle caps. It's like, okay, sure. But it's like, if you're unlucky, it could be dozens of battle royale runs before you get some. And that does suck. But
yeah.
If they're selling a streamlining, what that communicates to me is like, they think that this system is onerous to engage with.
See, yes, for in theory, but usually, like, what I would more say is that because we don't actually know if they are going to do that. That's just an assumption. Yeah. Because they've done stuff like that in the past, but it's less a streamline, and it's usually like a reward for doing other stuff that can be used to like okay, because like whenever they add the new DLCs, it's usually like, here's a big batch of new Pokemon to use. So it does make sense to be like, okay, well, here's all these new Pokemon. We can give you something that'll make it a little easier to, generate. Because the thing is that you can generate like, for example, in Scarlet and Violet, there's like an item generation thing that you can use. And you like gather materials off the floor in the game, and you could use that to generate things, but you don't control that. You just that is also random. But it's extremely easy to RNG manipulate Scarlet and Violet. So you just use the RNG manipulation and get a ton of bottle caps and stuff. And then also there's like raids and stuff that'll get you, or I don't even know if you get bottle caps from that actually. I think it's just raids, but they give you a bunch of raids. They give you a bunch of bottle caps, and those are also not part of the DLC. Those are just events. So they might just do events that are free, and you just, go online and do events. Like, they might just do that. I don't know. But there's stuff like rare Pokeballs and stuff that you can generate. Like, I have like a ton of Safari Balls that you should not have in Scarlet and Violet. Like, you should only have like one or two. I have a bunch of them because you can RNG manipulate the game really easily. You just set your switch's clock to a certain time, start up the item generator, and it's like, oh hey, here's 7 Safari Balls, and you just do that over and over again if you want. It's just like, okay, sure, yeah, because I want my shiny Pokemon and cool Pokeballs. Like, it doesn't give anything an advantage, but.
I mean, I think you are correct that, like, there is a subset of the Pokemon fandom that, like, feels obligated to buy the DLC even though they don't really want to play the game anymore.
Yeah.
At the same time...
Or ever.
Yeah.
Or ever. But at the same time, it's like, the Game Freak creates those people by making these loops like addicting, right? and then they're selling the solution to it, but also the solution is not even satisfying these people.
The thing is that I think that there does need to be some friction in like raising a Pokemon, because if that friction isn't there, because they want you to have a like connection with your Pokemon. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to use items to make it stronger. I'm going to train it. I'm going to get, and they've made that easier over time, and to an extent where it's just like, at this point, they're like maybe 2 steps away from just being like, you could just turn whatever Pokemon you want into, you could just change its stats whenever. At a certain point, like, I think that's what they're going to end up doing with like Pokemon Champions. But, that is all, like, Pokemon Champions is very specifically going to be how they do competitive from now on, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, like, I think that there should be some friction. I also think that they should improve on it over time. I think that there should be ways to get items and stuff to make it better. I think that it should maybe not just be an automatic thing that you can do without, just buying the DLC and getting an unlimited amount of something. But, if it's RNG manipulation, they can't really control that unless they change how the RNG works, which from what I can gather, I think they did do that for ZA. So nobody knows if you can even RNG manipulate in that game, so I don't think that's going to matter. It's just, it's up in the air. Like, it's early days.
And it also doesn't seem like a Pokemon game that's made for, like, the competitive Pokemon thing. It's multiplayer, sounds like it's fucking just ridiculous battle royale, like, mess around with your friends kind of stuff.
Yeah, this one isn't serious, if you were going to transfer your Pokemon, like, that are good in this game over to something else, like, a lot of those Pokemon aren't going to be good, because, like, Avalugg is a terrible Pokemon in every other game. It's great here, but it's just because of the specific way that these battles are, and if you go back to the turn-based stuff, it's like, oh, no, yeah, it's dog shit, and it's just going to get one hit knocked out no matter what you do. But, that's what makes it fun. It's like different Pokemon are good for different reasons in this format. But yeah, I'll pass more judgment once the DLC actually comes out, and I can be like, okay, yeah, they maybe shouldn't have like kept this behind a payment, because it made it easier. But again, like, it's never been like SMT, where it's literally just like, yeah, if you pay an extra like $5, you get dungeons where you go in there and you just, every time you win a battle, they give you 500 times more money than you normally would, and
infinite money and XP, like, oh.
Or in Assassin's Creed, where you could pay to get the collectibles.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, yeah, like, why would you play it now?
Yeah.
They haven't hit that point, and I think that's like, that is the needle that that is the thread they have to put into the eye of the needle, because yeah, it is, they have to make it feel like you're having a connection with these creatures, while also making it so you're not, people who want to play competitively don't have to do crazy grinding, or that if they feel like they have to hack something, because like, even to this day, like, I don't think that people like hacking their Pokemon, like generating their Pokemon, are evil, but like, it's against the spirit of the series, so I can see why they don't want that to happen. Just like how, like, I think there was some talk that that like the Pokemon Company never wants to acknowledge Nuzlocke rules and stuff, even though that is such a popular thing in the fandom, and they've made reference to other like big fandom events. Like, they've even made reference to Twitch Plays Pokemon, and that was an emulate, like a bot running an emulator. Like they've made references to that. But they're not going to make a reference to Nuzlocke, because that would be implying like, like Pokemon death, or like the abandonment of a partner and all that. And they wouldn't, like, in universe, they wouldn't want to, say that that's something you should do.
Yeah, we can't all be Cubone's mom.
You can't be the kid who left his Charmander out in the rain. You know, they explicitly say don't do that. You know? So I get that. But, you know, they also haven't, like, said, like, oh, you can't do that. Because, I mean, yeah, like, every day people are posting videos of them doing Nuzlocks and stuff. You know, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos of those coming out. So they're not saying no to that. They're just not going to say it's what they want people to do.
Yeah.
I think it is a good call for them to separate, to make a separate game for the competitive so they can hopefully continue to be more experimental with the main games.
Exactly, yeah. Because Champions, I think, is coming out, like, next year, like, sometime. So, you know, like, ZA is going to be the newest game for at least, like, another year or two. I don't know how long they're going to, you know, follow that up and how long it'll be until Gen 10. So, we'll see when that happens. But yeah, just having, like, a base area for the competitive zone, they can do whatever the fuck they want with everything else. And that I think that's smarter. I think that's way smarter.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm, I don't know what else, what other Pokemon stuff? I don't know. I'm sure that y'all are like, oh my god.
No. I mean,
I'm sorry.
here's the thing. Like, before ZA, I probably would kind of roll my eyes at a lot of Pokemon discussion just because, like, I never fully cared about it. But then you finally have a game that clicks with you in a series that you've always tried to click with but never have. It's, like, fun to actually understand someone that's excited about Pokemon. That's the thing. Like, I finally understand you a little bit, going, hey, I really like, you know, and it's nice to have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to put it down, because, I do have to finish Time Stranger still, and, you know, other stuff coming out and all that. But
how did you beat that one fucked up restaurant battle that opens with, like, multiple poison Pokemon and, like, just is, like, 15 battles long?
If the one at, like, the cafe, or whatever, the 3-star cafe.
Just like, fuck you!
That was a little difficult, but I will say that one of my, like, star Pokemon this run was a Mawile that I used, and you know, it's fairy steel, and steel is immune to poison, so that's how.
time to level one up.
Mawile's great in this game. No, like Mawile, you know, Mega Mawile is really good, and so yeah, I would recommend trying one out. I don't have a shiny yet, but
I've got like 2 shinies, but I haven't been shiny hunting, and they're all of my shinies are just plants, little flowers.
I didn't do any, like, hunting, because all the stuff that people are doing where they're just, like, letting, like, you know, like, setting their, like, doing, like, auto fire on turbo controllers and shit. I'm not doing that. It's like, you know, you can do whatever you want, it's fine, but, like, at a certain point, it's just like, why even bother, you know, like, it's, but, yeah, I mean, I have a Talonflame, I have the Gorgeist. I did find a Flabébé, which is now a Florges. And then I've also just found like a Patrat. You know, I found like one or two little like baby bullshit Pokemon that I'm not going to use, but you know, it feels more fun to be like just wandering around and hear that sound and be like, okay. You know, that sound. They need to keep that for like. It's gonna like I don't know what they're gonna do for Gen 10 if they're just gonna go back to regular like, you know, wild encounters or whatever. But they absolutely need to have some kind of overworld representation of shinies, because it is very frustrating to just like, you know, to not know.
Yeah, the sound of there delighted me. I was sitting there like, oh, what is that? What? And then I looked and I'm like, oh my god, it's a little Flabébé.
It also helps that, I don't know if you know this, but they, how the shinies work in this game, that they don't despawn even if you walk away. The game saves up to 10.
Oh.
So you don't have to worry as much. It's only if you fail to capture it, like, if you do that thing, you can knock them out, and then it raises their
chance
catch rate, and then they run away after a little bit. If that happens, then it's gone. And if it's one of those Pokemon that runs away, I think Budyu and a few other Pokemon run away from you if you get close. Yeah, then if it runs away like that, then it's gone. So just, save beforehand, and then you're fine, because if you just restart it, then it's fine. But, yeah, I'm
gonna have to learn to save more often.
I mean, it does. The game does autosave, and you actually can't turn autosave off, but, really, basically, I would just say if you hear the sound, just immediately drop a hard save is just what I would say. Just as soon as you hear that, just save and then start looking around for it in case you startle it. Because then if you do startle it, then you could just reset and it'll be there again, and it'll be right there, so you'll know where it is.
And I could throw a Pokeball at it.
Exactly.
I've never encountered a shiny in a Pokemon game.
Well, it is way easier now, so...
Oh, the Switch 2 version of Scarvio is so funny.
Oh my god.
There's just so many Pokemon out there.
They gotta turn it down. I remember, Scott started playing Scarlet and Violet, which I don't know which one he was playing, but he started playing that gen when he got a Switch 2. And I remember posting, I don't remember if it was in the Gamesline main Discord or if it was in the staff Discord, but I was just I really think they need to turn it down a bit. You get too many, and Scott was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then 3 days later he was like, no, John's right, they need to turn it down. I've gotten 15.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's Shiny
much.
City. It's
much.
I've legitimately watched a friend of mine fill out her entire decks with shinies since the Switch 2 launch. And it used to be hours of eat a sandwich, run around, see nothing. And now it's just eat a sandwich, run around, see 5 of them.
Yeah, I think at a certain point it's gonna less be shiny Pokemon are special and cool, and it's gonna be more which color scheme do I like better? Which I guess is fair. It's just I think original color Charizard is better than black Charizard, which I don't know who would think that, but you can.
I think shiny devaluation is probably a net good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because
see.
I don't know. When I think about those videos of people running 15 Game Boy Advance SPs with the machine to press the buttons, I'm like, we shouldn't be creating this.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that was just supposed to be a weird special thing, and then it kind of just became a status symbol and all that, but...
That's the thing, is with Pokemon, it's hard to do rarities, or, theoretically, I'm into the idea of, it's hard to acquire this move, but what that results in is people will jump through all the hula hoops to acquire that move, and it's probably not worth the effort, and so it should just take less effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, people are still going to be going after marks and stuff, because you can still, I think it's a 1 in... I mean, it's there's all different probabilities or whatever, but they have personality marks for some Pokemon too. So when you send your Pokemon out, it'll be blah blah blah, the gluttonous or whatever, So that's rare. If you have a shiny with a mark, that's really special. I got one of those. My Iron Hands is a shiny, and it's the Sun Gazer or something like that. So that's cool.
That's Sun Gazer.
But I'm also not I need to grind to get all these shinies with every mark. No, I'm just gonna... If it happens, that's cool. If it doesn't happen, oh well.
Yeah.
Or they could go in the other direction and make it so impossibly arcane that you really can't do it, like FF11 spells.
Sure. I mean, but the thing is that those people that you're talking about that, are running all those games, that just means they're going to run even more games.
That's true.
The sickness is going to get worse. So
now I've got 70 DSs going, running custom firmware so that I can shiny hunt with personality trait of.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to stop me either. I'll keep trying.
I need to find all of them with the baby puncher personality trait.
Wow.
This is actually kind of why I prefer the relative simplicity of Gen 1. Because I played Red and Emerald back to back a couple of years ago, and I was really struck by Emerald has such an enormous end game where they really want you to just keep playing that game forever. Whereas Red just kind of ends. And I think I strongly prefer the Red style.
Yeah, like, I mean, I appreciate both, but there is also just like a really simple beauty to you caught them all.
Sometimes you just want a game to end.
Yeah,
me.
Which I'm kind of appreciating with ZA. Like, like they're gonna add more stuff to it, but like I've hit the point where I'm just kind of like, yeah, like I don't need to keep playing this. I'm done, and like that's fine. Yeah.
I got my time out of it. I might log in a couple of times a week to do some online chaos battles or whatever.
Yeah, the option's there, but I don't feel like I need to. To keep
Especially
up with
if they keep adding things, instead of, hey, you can never get this Mega Stone again unless it's comes back into the rotation. If they keep just adding it to the list of things you can continually unlock, that's great.
Sure. We will see how it shakes out. Let's just speak on news now, because there is a lot of news. Actually, there's not like a ton, but there's a good amount of news.
We could, because there's only one game left to talk about. Might as well just get it out of the way.
Okay.
Go ahead. So I finished episodes 3 and 4 of Dispatch.
Right,
I'm kind of sad I'm not going to be able to be on the pod next week because I'm going to be out of town, because it's fun to actually talk about this once a week. Like, I like the little episodic format they're doing because of that. But episode 3 and 4 is where things finally hit the, hey, these are actually significant decisions that are definitely going to interact with, like, everything after, because like in episode 3 you have to cut one of the members of your team, and in episode 4 you add a member to your team.
Okay,
that's in episode 3 they give you the it's essentially about, they're given a choice of, no matter what, you have to fire someone, and it's whoever has the lowest score. Because of course they keep score because it's a corporation, and how are these people doing? Right. So by the end of the story, it's always the same 2 characters you have to choose between. Okay. But you do have to cut someone, but it also gives an interesting effect to the actual gameplay part of the game, where you're choosing people to go on missions. Because they all know that whoever has the lowest score is going to get fired. So they're fucking with each other. And it always makes you send 2 people on a mission. So if you send, one of the people you send always has something bad happen to them on the way. Oh. So it's like that person doesn't make it to the thing. So it makes your quest finishing a lot harder, because say you sent an attacker with a talker and all of a sudden your talker isn't there, and that's an important part of what you need. So yeah, I've still got like a 60% chance because my attacker is really good, but there's this big opening down there to fail the quest as the ball bounces around. It just adds a whole lot of wrinkles to it that had me like thinking a lot more and had you like all of your decisions mattered. You had to hope like the player that made it to the, the character that made it to the final thing was one with like a good option for if you had a completion. And there's a whole lot of really fun wrinkles they threw into it. And then like, episode 4, they give you the option of, you have 2 characters you can choose from. One of them is incredibly powerful with like really good stats, and one of them has just like absolute dog shit stats, but is, a fun character to be around. And it's like, do I want this character to continue being the janitor or actually give him a chance? Or do I want to bring Superman?
Right.
And it's such a like fun little twist that it changes like a lot of gameplay choices and a lot of story choices, and it's really, really getting interesting, and it's got me going, oh yeah, I talked about it last week where I said I think the next couple of episodes are going to decide if I just want to binge this thing and go, okay, that was worth it, or if I'm going to continue being excited by the chapter format that they're doing. And I'm really excited by the chapter format they're doing. It's fantastic. It feels good to have something to talk about every week with people and be excited about it. Find out, oh, what happened with you because you chose the other option, things like that. And just I miss episodic television. And I really like good superhero stories. I like that it's, not forcing me down any path and like has interesting things, and like the characters continue to get more interesting. It's really, really fun. And I'm kind of hoping that it continues keeping on this path because,
How would you feel about like the dialogue, the writing, moment to moment? Is that staying consistent?
It's staying consistent, and it might actually be getting better. The main character is just a like fantastic, like he is a superhero, like depending on how you can play him as like being a smarmy asshole. Or like an encouraging superhero. And I'm kind of doing a mix of both where like if people are clearly needing a pep talk, I'm giving them that pep talk. But if somebody is being an asshole, I'm going to throw a fucking box of spaghetti at his head. Like it's this chapter like actually improves. I think it's getting better with each episode as they, like, as I said, these are like significant like decisions that like I will be disappointed if the characters I fired come back, or if a character I hired doesn't, leaves for no reason. Like at this point, it feels like these are significant decisions that are going to affect the entire rest of the playthrough, that will have me excited to go back and replay entire sections with different choices.
Okay.
Compared to like the choices in the first couple episodes, which were like, do you flirt with a character? Do you flirt? Do you whatever? This time it feels like significant.
Okay. Very cool. I gotta hop on that because I'm a big classic, or not classic, but like golden era Telltale person. Like I love Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us and Tales from the Borderlands. So I should hop on that for sure. Yeah. It's on my list. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Try not to sneeze. Excuse me. I lost. It's okay.
All right. It's okay.
We all lose sometimes. News. A lot of rough stuff this week, I'm just gonna say. Let's, I'm gonna, I feel like getting the rough stuff out of the way is usually the move, but, you know, we'll just hit it here. Let's see here. First off, there were, let's see which one. Okay, hear this one. We'll talk about Rockstar Games, cause, there is that their union specifically, or is it just like it was the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain is saying that, between 30 and 40 people were recently laid off from a Rockstar over in Britain. Their unions are, they have a little bit better, legal protections than, folks in the US do. So this is going to probably be a bit more of a kerfluffle here, cause it's just a straight up union busting thing, especially because, a bunch of the, members that they did fire, were also in talks to unionize as well. So this was going to be a Rockstar workers were gearing up to unionize themselves, and yeah, it's saying that like every employee that was fired was part of a private trade union chat group on Discord.
Yeah.
So they were either already members of the union or were trying to organize within the company. I'm reading off of the Bloomberg report here. So yeah, it was either people that were already unionized or people that were trying to unionize that were all let go. So pretty obvious union busting there, and fingers crossed that there is repercussions, because
yep,
that actually happens in the UK. There are sometimes repercussions for that. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Even when you are Grand Theft Auto, the most slam dunk, you will definitely make $1 trillion game, they're still union busting blatantly. They still are like, oh, we can't lose out a little bit of money to, paying your medical fees. Oh no, we can't pay you like you deserve. Even though it's probably going to make more money than literally anything else has ever made in existence. It's just bad.
Well, that's whatever their Grand Theft Auto Online gets online.
Well, that's true, but I mean, they're probably going to have they're probably going to make some kind of, like launch day record kind of deal, because I think that's what GTA 5 did. But I don't know. I don't know how that all works. Don't ask me. But speaking of people getting let go, Amazon did have a very, very large amount of layoffs this past week. It was 14,000 people, which is just across the company. But the specific part that relates to us is they cut a bunch of people from their video games department, which this is definitely one of those moments where people should not be losing their jobs willy-nilly, especially in this economy. But it's also one of those cases where it's like Amazon was just doing some stupid ass shit. They were just not using people properly, and of course what they were doing didn't make any money. Like, they were trying to make a Steam competitor that nobody knew about, and they were using Twitch and stuff to give out codes to other Steam competitors. Like, you could get like free codes for GOG and Epic Game Store, but not their like Luna or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure that's what it's called.
Like, it is, and it's existed for like 6 years. It's existed for years, and after they initially launched it, I did testing with it. It was pretty good, it was Clouds Gaming, it was good for a cloud gaming service. It was better than what PlayStation was offering, but like they didn't advertise it at all.
Yeah, they didn't bring any attention to it, and it just did not seem like it was anything that they were really caring about, but they hired so many people for it. And then same thing with all their MMOs. Like, for some reason, Amazon Game Studios were just making like a trillion MMOs for whatever reason in the era of nobody wanting to play any MMOs except for the 2, you know? Like, it's like, if you're not World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14, like, why bother?
Yeah.
And it's, like, you know, they were making like a Lord of the Rings MMO. They had like 2 or 3 other ones that were in like development or that were active. And it's just like, nobody cared. Nobody talked about them. They weren't getting advertised. They weren't like nothing, you know, I never saw anyone talk about them. They were just dumping money into this stuff and absolutely nobody was just responding to it. Yeah. And like, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's just like, yeah, I feel bad for all these people that lost their jobs. Absolutely. But also, this was gonna happen eventually. It's just a bad time for it to happen.
Yeah, it feels like it feels kind of shitty just because they have been doing so much, they've been promoting so much, and then it's just like gone. Like they just relaunched New World. They had a new expansion come out like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but I didn't hear about that. You know,
they relaunched it on consoles with New World Aeternum, and they just launched their new expansion. Like it's fucking just it pisses me off. Like I'm continued to every week I look in the news channel and I just get fucking mad. Because it's constantly shit like this.
Yeah, I don't even know if misusing or it's the higher ups asking for dumb shit that nobody wants, and then the people who are under that actually working on it going, nobody wants this. Well, we should do something else, and then being told no, and then a few years later they all get fired because it didn't make any money.
Like, and what sucks is, you know? Apparently the New World Aeternum relaunch was, like, really good. I was hearing actual good things about it from friends of mine who were playing and going, they took this game that was hot trash and they made it good. I still have friends that obsessively play Lost Ark and stuff like that. And it's just like, all right, like I know there are chunks of people from that team that got let go. So my guess is they're probably just going to do AI translation for everything now and shit like that. And it's like, it's fucking sad. It's just like, like, I don't even know if the friends of mine who are working on their new MOBA they're releasing still have jobs. Like, sucks.
The reasoning that the guy in charge gave is that apparently they were expecting that, oh, they're Amazon. They're already an enormous tech company. So obviously people will simply come to them. And according to him, he underestimated how much people stick to their habits and will just keep using Steam because that's where all their stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they put no effort on advertising, and it's fucking wild. It sucks.
I mean, even if they had advertised it, would you have gone over to Amazon Prime Gaming with Luna streaming?
Yeah, no. Because, like, I have the Epic Game Store installed, and that's literally just because they give out free games, and then even then I don't use it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very, like, see, the Luna thing actually could have worked if they advertised it at fucking all. Because it literally was, like...
I just don't want to do game streaming. I just want to play the fucking game and not worry about internet hitching ruining the experience. Like, just let me download the full fucking file. Like, just... I have memories, just let me play it. Like, I don't know.
But I mean, having a thing like that where, like, when I was testing it, I was testing it on a 14-inch netbook that ran like shit and playing high quality games at full, like, high graphics settings and not having a lot of lag issues. But
I mean, I'll
like,
say
y'all don't
I've
advertise shit.
I've seen Luna ads. They did not convince me to try it out because, John, I think the use case you're describing of, like, you only have a crappy netbook, but you want to play games, that's really the only use case I can think of, but I'm not in that situation.
Not a lot of people are in that situation if they give a shit about video games. Like, if they give a shit about video games, they have already gotten a console, they have gotten a PC. Like, yeah, like, there is this small case, you know, like, especially nowadays with how expensive everything's getting, but, like, I don't think we've hit the point where, like, there's enough people who really want that option still.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people already got their PS5s, people already got their Xboxes and their Switches and their PCs and all that. Like, maybe in a few console generations, if things continue to be overwhelmingly expensive, next console generation, I'm sure things will continue to be very expensive. It's like, maybe then there will be more of a case for cloud gaming, but still, like, people are not gonna like it because they're gonna want better fidelity. Like, the average gamer is such a fucking freak about graphics.
Oh, the average PC gamer, especially.
That's especially, like, yeah. So, like,
PC gamers are freaks. This doesn't run at 300 FPS on my 4K monitor. Fuck you, sir. Fuck you.
So, yeah, it just does not seem like the play. It really doesn't. I don't know.
Do you want me to read out the top 4 games to claim on Luna.amazon.com?
Go ahead.
This is what they're offering. Halloween Stories Horror Movie Collector's Edition. You Will Die Here Tonight. Werewolf the Apocalypse Heart of the Forest. And Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition.
Ooh.
Okay. And here, I'm going to open up the Epic Game Store. And again, I don't use this. See, it's having to actually load, you know, it doesn't just, you know, pop up like Steam does. But, let's see what the free games are right now on the Epic Game Store, which also you have to remember that, that this is also how you play Fortnite. You know, like, I don't play Fortnite, but everyone who wants to play Fortnite on PC is using the Epic Game Store. So, that, I mean, you know, when your company has the biggest video game of all time right now, it's like, they have Betty and the Ink Machine and Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit for free right now. Which, like, I don't want to play those, but those are, like, popular horror games that people would want. And they're gonna have a D&D game, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, in, like, a week.
Wow, they're giving us a free-to-play game as one of their free games?
It says $100 in value. I don't know what I mean.
Oh, it's probably a bunch of free rolls on the gacha.
Okay. Sure.
Gotta get me my Matt Mercer characters.
Yeah, alright. I didn't know what it was. But, I mean, like, still, yeah, they're throwing free stuff at you, and, you know, people just basically refer to that as, like, the Fortnite launcher, you know? Like, it's just...
Like, I got a free. That's how I got Alan Wake 2. It was one of their free games. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes they do nice things over there, and it's like, okay.
But yeah, like, Amazon's not going to compete when Epic Games is still second place to Steam when they have the biggest game in the world on their platform exclusively. You know, like, this has already been solved. Like, something would have to happen to Steam, and maybe it will, but until that point, you're not going to overtake them. You know, you can't provide a service that is functionally better than what Steam presents as it is right now, with as much of the baggage that it has with regards to how, you know, everyone has their library there already. So,
and hell, Epic isn't even second, I don't think. I think second is probably where all your Robux are going.
Oh, well, yeah, Roblox, and then GOG, and then Epic, probably. I don't know. Like, Epic and GOG are... I mean, like, Epic's probably more... A lot of people play Fortnite.
And GOG actually has a niche to it where it's DRM-free and they make old games run on modern OSs.
Yeah. So it has its niche, and there are people that are going to use it, and it's not going to be the biggest thing in the world, but the people that use it are going to really like it. And, they're also making their money off of, because it's CD Projekt Red, so they're, going to still make their money off of The Witcher and Cyberpunk and all that, so, they're not hurting. And I mean, Amazon's making a ton of money too, but also Amazon's an insane asshole company, so they need to make $1 trillion on everything, or else it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a shame, but also, it's not a surprise, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, it sucks. This whole thing sucks.
Yeah. I'll do a bit of a bummer, but less of a bummer than the other ones before we get into another real big bummer, and then we'll end it with something that's just kind of weird. There was a report that apparently the Wachowskis met with Konami to pitch having Kojima do a Matrix game, and Konami immediately shot it down. And there was a recent interview with Kojima. Let me see, with it was because this was posted on the website Time Extension, and then Kojima replied to it on Twitter saying, "I didn't even know that happened." So he never knew. He never knew that the Wachowskis wanted him to make a Matrix game. Like, that's so sad.
I mean, arguably he did. Yeah. MGS2 is certainly thematically in conversation with The Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can see, I think the Wachowskis even asked Kojima to do it before too. So they asked him based on just MGS1, which is a little that's even more forward facing. It's like, just both of them just being able to tell, like, this guy understands us, like, so, I mean, that's impressive foresight on their part, but it's just really, it's sad as hell. Like,
I mean, they made the mistake of asking Konami instead of him. And Konami, like, the current Konami is not the old Konami, because, like, I have a feeling the current Konami would have been like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I have no idea still what current Konami is. I'm like, they seem to care about video games.
I'm not gonna say one way or the other yet. I think that is a bit too up in the air right now.
We're like a few years away from knowing if it's real or not.
Exactly, yeah.
It's amazing that they've never made a good Matrix game.
There's a lot of people that like Path of Neo.
I mean, people are allowed to be wrong.
I haven't played it. I don't know.
I'm sure Path of Neo is like, for a licensed game, fine. But like a really slam dunk Matrix game seems like it shouldn't be that hard.
Like, I do need to find out if there are, like, private servers for the Matrix Online somewhere.
Oh, people do like that one. That's true.
The fact that literal, like, Matrix story is in there, like, that set up that third movie is so funny. And the reason they shut it down was because of that third movie, like, literal story.
Do the Wachowskis like video games? Because I'm not sure that they do. Because you mentioned the Path of Neo. That's the one that famously when you get to the final boss, the Wachowskis themselves show up to give you a speech about how they explain the philosophical themes of the ending of their movie, and they say, well, a video game can't do that, so here's a big monster to fight. And I was kind of shocked by just the cynicism about the medium that communicated.
I mean, they wrote both of those games. They did, Path of Neo and Enter the Matrix. So
Enter the Matrix also has this like cynicism to it, where they filmed an extra hour of movie for that game, but then you watch the cutscenes and it's just like Agent Smith meets Ghost, and he's like, "You're not Neo. I guess I'll have to wait for Neo to show up."
I don't know. I mean, Lana apparently also directed that Epic Games Unreal Engine 5 experience thing that came out. If you remember that, when that dropped randomly, it was like a tie-in to the Resurrections game.
And then in that movie, Neo wins a game award and jumps off a building, and then the character gives a speech about how they turned the story that meant so much to us into something as ordinary and trivial as a video game.
I don't get it. I don't know. Like it's a weird thing where it's like if they had maybe like if Enter the Matrix was the only thing that had happened, like if they had worked on one game and had talked a bunch of shit the whole time through it, that would be one thing. It's the fact that they keep going back to it. It's like,
yes.
Like, why? If you hate it so much, just stop. Like, you don't have to do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Maverick saying in the chat, Speed Racer is like a video game as a movie, you know?
No,
it is extremely...
Speed Racer is just an episode of the anime as a movie.
It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things.
It is the greatest movie ever made. There are colors I didn't even know existed that I see now. I fucking love Speed Racer. It's legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Like, I'm not trying to, I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying it's just very strange that, like you're saying, Crystal, that the Wachowskis seem to, for some reason, have a disdain for the medium, but also continue to participate in the medium. But I guess that's also kind of Matrix Resurrections at some points too, with like the fact that they made another Matrix sequel anyway. So,
and Neo works at a video game company.
I don't know. Maybe like it just maybe the Wachowskis just don't like art, but still do it because they feel like they have to, which is just everything. I guess that's every artist, I guess, when you think about it. I don't know.
Is Matrix 4 the only external cultural representation of Keighley's Game Awards
that I can think of?
What a one to have.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's literally like, I mean, I think. I mean, they had Keanu come out during the Game Awards and, like, talked it up or whatever, but then, yeah, like, in the movie, his character's like, I won a Game Award, so I have to kill myself. Like, I don't fucking know.
Look, I'm sorry, if I won a Game Award and had to stand next to someone who smoked that much, I would die too, because I'm allergic to cigarettes.
I don't know. You can. I think there's like in Among Us, you can wear like a Keighley mask.
Oh,
yeah, and that I think was tied to the Game Awards. So that's the only other one I could think of. I mean, yeah, we're specifically talking about the Game Awards because there is also the part the ending of Tar where we're with Monster Hunter and all that, which. That also caused quite a stir as well, where it was, thinking that people were talking shit about video game music when it was more just like the fall of that specific character, and also maybe talking a little shit about video game music, but whatever. It's yeah, you know what? You have if you're, it is funny. It's very funny, and also like, if you appreciate a piece of art. You're gonna be able to have because someone else doesn't. That doesn't take away from that. Just Who gives a shit at this point? Alright, I don't even want to talk about this very much. I just think that, we should probably acknowledge it and say that it sucks ass. But, like, I mean, I don't have anything to, like, add to this, really. Like, y'all can, if y'all have stuff that you want to say about it, feel free. But just, I'm just rubbing my temples here about this one. Where, the US government Twitter accounts keep making shitty memes with pop culture stuff, and they did, like, a Pokemon one, where it's like, gotta catch 'em all, and it's for immigrants, and they did the same thing with Halo, because they announced the Halo remake, and they're doing, like, a destroy the flood, join ICE, and it's like, I don't want to talk about it for too long, because if I do, I will say something that'll put, me saying this out loud right now is just probably getting me put on the list. So,
the best time to cancel your Game Pass Ultimate subscription was when BDS told you to. The second best time was the last time Microsoft fucked up and kept doing more anti-users. The third best time is fucking now.
I mean, the thing is that they like they're like I don't know exactly what the process is to like push back against this kind of stuff, because like when they used the Pokemon stuff, Nintendo said that they didn't sign off on it or anything like that, but like they also weren't like they didn't take a strong stance against it, which that's what they should do. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what, like, the legal repercussions are for, like, like, outright, because, like, it would be, like, a big ol', like, I don't know, like, a fucking denial of usage and all that shit, and then trying to run that up against, like, the US government instead of just a guy is going to be, gonna cost a lot more money, and take a lot more time, and gonna, cause a way more of a stir than a lot of these people would want. And, while I do think that, pushing back against this stuff is what's necessary, it's also just like, like Microsoft isn't gonna do that shit, like,
they're just gonna give even more money for a ballroom.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like,
I'm just fucking tired.
People trying to, like, argue with them to be like, you didn't understand Halo. Like, the flood isn't, like, it's like, it doesn't matter. Of course they're fucking stupid. They're racists. But that doesn't change anything. Like, they're bad people, and they need to be ignored and or pushed back against. And it just drives me fucking nuts. But
I'm just so fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired, and it's so, like, every fucking day there's new bullshit, and it's just, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
This whole incident got me thinking a lot about shooters generally, and like audience and critical posture towards them. Because I think maybe they do understand Halo. Maybe this, like, isn't that big of a step past the themes and imagery that Halo has always communicated, right? Because, like, in Halo 1, the Marines are like an aliens pastiche, right? But then by Halo 2, they're really focusing on, like, these monstrous aliens are also religious fanatics, just like the Islamic terrorists that America is fighting. And then in Halo 3, they're making, like, World War II veteran interviews, crying stuff, a lot of commercials for ODST and Reach that are like, hoorah. By the time of Infinite, the intro to the multiplayer is, like, practically a recruitment ad. Halo's kind of always been flirting with this.
I think the thing with, and I'm not a Halo expert, but from what I have kind of picked up, I think that, like, Halo 1 and maybe some of Halo 2, well, Halo 1 is basically like it is, I feel like a 9/11 reactionary kind of like, religious zealotry led to people, attacking another group of people for something that they don't, that is, like suicidal and foolish, and that is what they're trying to say, instead of realizing that, no, it's because the Americans were, I don't have to explain that. But what the series goes on to do is it adds that, like, I mean, like the flood was there in Halo 1, but I think they sort of start to bridge the gap a bit into making it like a less about, these people are religious fools and they need to be purged, and more of a, hey, we can find a common ground and fight together thing for 2 and 3. And then after that, it's like, okay, so Bungie's not working on it anymore. 343 is, and now 343 is just doing whatever the fuck. And I mean, everyone I know doesn't like what 343 has done with the franchise. So, like, I think again, like, I think Rose would probably have more to say about that stuff. Like, but from what I've gathered, it does seem that like Halo is like more of a, it's showing some growth from the folks who made it, where it's like, hey, initially it was just like, oh, we don't understand these people, and they're fools for attacking us and being against us, and more of there's dangers that are bigger than us, and we should work together, kind of stuff.
Look, as long as Keith David is around, you always work with Keith
David is there. Yeah, I think that's more what it is. Like, I played through Halo 1 recently. I have to, if I were to really speak on all this, I would have to play the other, at least 2 and 3. But yeah, I mean, like, like having Arbiter be playable, like having a character who is on the other side of that conflict and being like, what we are, we are, like, our group is fighting for something that is self-destructive, and we can find a way to work together and defeat a common enemy. Like, I think there's still some aspects to that, when applied to the, the wars in Iraq and Iran and all that, where it's like, yeah, like that's still kind of applying a sort of villainy to the leaders in that area. But I don't think it's like 1-to-1, just, oh, those people in the Middle East are evil, let's wipe them out. Like, I think Halo 1 was like Halo 1 would feel at times. So I don't know. I don't want to like make full on excuses, but I do think that there's like layers to it that are just completely ignored when you don't have any reading comprehension, and you're just like, the aliens are bad and you can kill them, and we call people over in America, we call people who come in illegally illegal aliens, so it's just like the Covenant, you can shoot them, it's fine, it's just like whatever. Like they have no reading comprehension because they don't care, they just want to feel like they are valid for their hatred.
But you do solve problems by shooting the aliens with the guns.
Yes. You do. Yeah.
And like thinking about the broader military shooter genre, Call of Duty, which is also Microsoft, Battlefield, which is EA. I feel like there's long been a critical posture towards them of like you said, they're getting better. They're moving in the right direction, but they can never really move away from the base thing that you do in the game, which is be part of an army that shoots enemy with gun. So I don't really think it's that far of a misreading for ICE to pick up on that.
Sure. I mean, I think the problem is that, or not really the problem, but just like the unfortunate aspect was Halo losing its original creators and not being able to continue to evolve. Because, like, who knows? Like, I couldn't tell you what kind of politics a Bungie made Halo game could have had today if they continued to build upon it and like Because, like, there's aspects of the lore and, like, the books and stuff where, like, they go really in depth of how, like, the creation of the Spartans is, like, similar to something like the Space Marines in Warhammer, which is, stripping people of their humanity to turn them into weapons and torturing them. And, like, they show that as an explicit negative. And, I would be interested to see how, if in, like, a couple other games, if they actually tackled, like, the, soldiers in a war are treated inhumanely and are used to further inhumane concepts and to just destroy other aspects of society, and then are cast aside once they are done, and they can often commit horrible crimes, and that shouldn't be ignored, but also at the same time those people are just treated as fodder. So, like, that's stuff that, like, I think they might have, like, started to flirt with, but then business happened, and then they just went to go make Destiny, and 343 picked it up and went, what if Cortana evil? And nothing interesting came from that. So
yeah, they made Destiny, which is a game about being the army of the last city besieged by alien invaders.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's like one of those things where you can kind of spin any story to that, though, because, like, I mean, especially for video games, it's like you're like 90% of video games you're fighting against something, like, even if it's not with a gun, you're doing combat.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know. Like, I think that I think that's something that you can wrestle with, but also like not all combat is necessarily evil, like some people you have to defend yourself at times. You have to strike back against those that are taking advantage of others. And
exactly.
I think that if you're just going to say that, like, that we should never have a video game that includes strife because it could be misinterpreted to mean that actually the bad guys are stand-ins for this, like, this race of people that the bad people in real life want to take out, it's like, then you just can't make anything. I don't know.
You could make something that isn't American Marines shooting alien invaders.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, like, I'm more just saying, like, the reading comprehension that these people have, they're gonna apply it to anything, because, like, they apply it to Lord of the Rings, and also Lord of the Rings has its own racist issues. Don't get it twisted. But the main plot of just, here's an evil ring that we're gonna throw in a volcano, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like that gets, like you're saying, like, that your fucking deportation thing is equivalent to that. Like, no, you're just a dumbass and you want to feel like a hero for doing awful things.
That's the fantasy that these games are selling, is feeling like a hero for doing awful things.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that should be wrestled with,
Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, there's more to these stories than the base level elements of shooting aliens. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I do have to make an excuse for these games to enjoy the lore of Destiny or whatever, because I can't deny that when someone takes these aliens and applies it to human beings on Earth, they are reading the base level of the game correctly.
I mean, like, I would say that it's possible to do that for Halo, but I think if, like, I'm not sure how you would for Destiny. Like, I don't think that, like, the Destiny characters feel like an American kind of thing. Like, that doesn't feel like, because like the Halo characters are very, like, they're Marines. Like, yeah, they're all Ura and stuff, but, like, I don't know about Destiny. Like, I haven't played Destiny, but, like, I don't know if that's, like, innocuous. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I don't play, like, Battlefield or Call of Duty. Like, I think that stuff, like that is, like, very, very much, like, that's propaganda, like I'm not arguing for those at all. Like, like if people like to play those games multiplayer or whatever, their campaigns or whatever, like, sure. I mean, I would hope that they, are cognizant enough to at least recognize what they're being sold. But for Halo, like, I think that there is like a little teeny tiny bit of wiggle room, and I think it's like interesting to see where that story goes. But also, like, I'm not surprised that people like the DHS and like and the dumb fucker who runs the Twitter accounts is using it for that. It's unfortunate, and I feel bad for people who are just normal and like Halo, but I'm not like surprised about it. But, it's like, it's the kind of thing where you want to push back against it because there are good parts about it. And it's just like I don't want them to just take it over. Like, you want to be able to just like your thing, I guess,
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm not excusing old Halo. Like I said, I played through that. And it is very apparent that it's just like, oh yeah, no, like the people who made this game were angered that a foreign group attacked America and they felt like it was unjust. And then it does feel like over time they perhaps felt like there was more to it than that. And I think a lot of people had that same growth. And I think that's, it's kind of interesting to see that via a series of military shooters, but at the same time, it's a military shooter, so it can only go so far.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we do love Master Chief. I do like to see Master Chief. I like when he and Cortana have their little moments. Like, I still liked Halo 1. Like, I played through it, and I still liked it for the most part. Like, it's got good gameplay. But I was also just like, yeah, at sometimes, like, but yeah, it's just fuck. I mean, like, the people that run these ads and stuff, should go to hell, and that's it.
Yeah, I think my takeaway from the situation is like, I came away thinking, I should make less excuses for these games because this is like, here it is. Here is people cashing in on themes that were there. And like in the future, as a critic, I should be more proactive in talking about this.
Sure. I mean, but I also just hope that it's not something that is just like fully written off. Like, I think that good critique is something, being able to touch on something that has its flaws without just fully throwing it in the trash, which I know that you can do. So yeah. But it also just becomes frustrating when, you're running up against people that are just brain dead, mashing it and just being like, this is what it's about, and it means that I'm right. And it's like, no, you're just wrong and a bad person, and not gonna say more. I don't know, anything else that y'all want to talk about, any of the bad topics, because we do have one last thing.
No,
and
this all just, the news sucks.
All right, yeah, here we got one last thing, and it doesn't suck, but it's just weird as hell. Nintendo dropped a random ass trailer in the middle of the day. It was like what? Like, it was like Wednesday or something. Yeah, it was the 30th, so that was Thursday. Yeah, in the middle of Thursday, where they said, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do a Switch 2 upgrade for Animal Crossing, New Horizons." Which, that isn't too much of a surprise, the fact that they're just like, yeah, you can pay $5 to get, if you have it on Switch, it's, you'll have better graphics or whatever, and there's gonna be, I'm actually not sure what is in the $5 thing and what is going to be in this other thing, which they are just doing a free update for the original version and the Switch 2 version. where there is going to be a small little hotel on the pier that will let you get new items, including classic Nintendo things like the Ultra Hand and the Love Tester. And there will also be Famicom and Game Boy things that you can interact with that will have the games available on them, but I guess only if you have Switch Online. So it's just going to be games that are on the Switch Online, which is fucking stupid. Like they showed fucking Ice Climber. Like you could put a fucking ROM of Ice Climber in New Horizons. Nobody's going to want to play it. It's Ice Climber. That game sucks. Like, don't like just.
Are you insulting Ice Climber? One of the great.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't even joke.
Yes, I'm insulting Ice Climber. That game blows ass. Meanwhile, though, if they put Mach Rider in there, then more people will be able to play Mach Rider, and I'll be able to, and more people will understand that Mach Rider is good because I love Mach Rider. But I'm the only person in the world who likes Mach Rider. Like every time I watch a video where someone talks about Mach Rider, they're like, "Who plays Mach Rider?" And I'm like, me, John,
you,
me. I like that one.
It's okay. We're allowed to have bad taste.
Watch it. But yeah, they're adding other stuff. They're adding like the Dream World thing, so you can make Dream Islands, and then you can go to other people's Dream Islands. They're having collab stuff where they're gonna have Lego items because they did like an Animal Crossing Lego. They're having new characters with amiibos, where like I think like for what was it the one on the 3DS. They had some like Zelda and some Splatoon characters, I think, and they're doing that again, but they're like different characters. I think they're like Tulin and Minaru, who I think were from like Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then Cece and Vishay, who are based on I think they're based on I don't remember their names, but the new idols from 3. I don't remember their names. But there's also like a bunch of clothes and etc. So
exciting.
That's cool. Also, for the Switch 2, the one thing that the two things that I saw that were legit really cool, was they are adding the ability to craft multiple things at once, and you can also use material that is in your storage. So they fixed the big issue with this game, which I think that is just going to be in the update, which good. You don't have to pay extra for that. Good. But the cool thing that I saw for the Switch 2 version is they are adding mouse support for the Joy-Cons on the side. So you can like decorate your house and all that by like clicking and dragging and stuff, which that seems like a great way to do that. That does seem like a genuinely cool way to mess with that. So it seems like it's going to be a good upgrade. Like, I don't think I'm going to go back to it, but it's $5 for the update, to have extra stuff on the Switch 2 version. And they're adding all that, like, they're adding most of the new stuff for free for the original version. So it's whatever, like, if you don't want to upgrade, if you just want to play it on Switch 1, it's still there. You could pay $5 to make it look prettier and, use the mouse controls. And I think there's some other stuff that is going to be in the upgrade, but I don't know. It's a little confusing about what's in the upgrader. Oh, okay. It's also some like online stuff too. It's there's a megaphone which will let you like holler at people, I guess, like through the microphone on your Switch.
People.
Yeah, and the Switch 2 version will let you play with up to 12 players.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah. So they have to be on Switch 2 version to do that. It's only up to 8 if it's original. So that's it. I mean, that's not like a huge upgrade, but I mean, I don't know, it's $5, whatever.
I mean, that's a pretty, it's nice. It's nice
upgrade,
having more,
like they put effort into it. I don't really feel bad about paying for like small updates like that if it's cheap. I would have bought that Donkey Kong DLC if it was $5. I don't want to spend 20 on it. They're on crack for that one. I'm not buying that. But, a $5 for
Yeah.
better graphics on the Switch 2 version. Sure, whatever.
I mean, or even some games, like, I've appreciated a couple of Switch 1 games that I had, which the upgrade was like $1. Give me more of that, please.
Yeah, like I like Trails was $1, and that was just because I think they like legally have to do that in Japan. So yeah.
In principle, I do kind of agree that $1 or even $5 is not that much. At the same time, a few years ago, these were free.
Yeah. But again, the upgrade here is like 90% of it is just the free upgrade. So it's only if you're playing on Switch 2 and want to have a shit ton of people and also want it to like have the better graphics or whatever, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not going to do it.
Here's my business plan. You get a new GPU, you should have to pay $1 to make the game run at max settings.
Ooh. Yeah.
Sure. Look, I don't know how these things work, but if that's how it works, there you go. All right. That does it for the news. We will do some questions here. We have some that were sent in to the Discord server. Let me look at the email real quick.
And also, if anyone in the chat wants to ask anything, you can as well.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll give you a little bit to do so. Let me make sure that nobody replied on Blue Sky. No, but you could do that too if you so choose. But yeah, we have our email, which is podcastgamesline.net. And if you join our Discord server, which is thegamezone.zone, you can go ahead into the asks for the podcast thread, and you can ask us questions like this. Maverick asked 2, and he's also here in the chat. So I don't know, maybe he might ask 3. I'm not gonna force him to, but we'll see. First one: what game feels the most autumnal? What is an autumn game?
Ooh. Let me think about it, but
there's a good amount of like Halloween-y games. You can talk about your costume quests, your medieval, your etc. I think those are very autumnal. I will say medieval definitely has a little bit more of an autumnal setting because it's, that medieval sort of era, but like there's like a farm level, and that definitely feels autumnal. Like harvesting grain feels like, that's something you do for autumn.
Yeah. I am absolutely just going to be the most predictable person in the world. And Game of the Generation Neo 2 had 3/4 of that game. The leaves are falling, they're all orange and pretty, and cherry blossoms falling in the air. So it's both springy and autumnal.
What about you, Crystal? What's an autumn game for you?
If you play the officially approved third-party client for RuneScape called Rune Light, there is a seasonal effects plugin. You make the trees all autumnal. I think that's very nice.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of games that give you the option to go autumnal. Like you hit Fall and Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley. That's autumnal, but that's because that's the season.
Yeah, and in that game, you can harvest the grain and put it into the mill and mill it into flour and bake bread with it.
You can do that,
and
that's
that
very
levels
autumnal.
4 different job stats.
Yeah.
Skills.
That's autumn, baby. I don't know, there's a level, or there's 1 or 2 stages in Skullgirls that are very autumnal. It's like a street with dying leaves on all the trees, and very pretty music. And I think that it was published by Autumn Games, but I think they had a falling out, so I don't know if they want to be autumnal anymore. That's all I can think of, though. But yeah, if we don't have any more, we can move on to the next question here. We'll just do Maverick's other question. Quoth Maverick. So I've been thinking about the current nostalgia wave and how the repackaged encapsulation of the early 2000s feels misaligned with the lived experience, as is often the case. What games feel the most apt to give someone the feel of 2000 to 2005, so defined by their time as opposed to being timeless? I will point to SSX On Tour as my go-to, not just for my personal love of the game, but its mix of remedial character customization, its existence as a snowboarding game in the final years of the extreme sports boom, and its aesthetics hitting a particular niche of time with the 80s Outcast notebook doodle UI and heavy metal soundtrack picks feeling apt in a game that's also introducing someone to LCD Sound System, Block Party, and Paul Wall.
Was SSX On Tour the one that also had skiing?
I don't know. I don't really know too much about SSX. I haven't really played too much of those.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of the SSX games I would feel...
Maverick's saying yes. Maverick's saying yes.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, I remember I got that game simply because it added skiing, and I am a skier. I'm not a loser snowboarder.
Hey.
All those young whippersnappers and their snowboards. Psh.
Watch it.
Real old heads stand on 2 sticks, not 1.
Yeah, any like sports games or racing games with a licensed soundtrack would be very good for this because you also get the music.
I was just gonna say any any EA Sports big game,
Yeah.
And your NBA Street.
Oh fuck,
yeah,
NBA Street, NFL Street,
NFL Street, yeah, like a lot of those like extreme sports kind of get, like
NFL Blitz.
MX versus ATV. You get a lot of that kind. I mean, that might have been a little later, but yeah, like that sort of era of like PS2 extreme sports game for sure. That is the era of that.
I am actually glad right now that we are kind of getting that back with Tokyo Extreme Racer, which is just a fucking beautiful thing, because that is just a Tokyo Extreme Racer game. That is the same game as Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero from 30 fucking years ago.
I did also see that there was an unlicensed basketball game that was sort of leaning... I don't know if it was going to be more of like an NBA Street kind of thing, but it was definitely leaning more into the arcade aspect. And then the NBA just gave them the license too, so it's more of a, it's an actual NBA game now instead of just an arcadey like random thing, which it has its positives and negatives. But that's interesting that they're more willing to be like, okay, yeah, we can make a more arcadey, like street game instead of just doing the simulation, like 2K games over and over.
Yeah.
Like we can do something a little more fun.
The Sims, I think, is very good for this.
Yes.
Yep.
Sims 1 and Sims 2, for sure. Absolutely.
Sims, Herbs maybe, yeah. Sims in the City.
All the like spin-offs and stuff. Like I do like, like I think My Sims is a little after, but yeah, Maverick is also agreeing with you with the Herbs. Yeah, the Herbs is definitely in that style for sure. Like Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah,
Guitar Hero specifically. What else?
GTA.
Tony Hawk, like Thug, especially. For positive and negative reasons, of course. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just like sports. It like that era just feels like an overlap of like a fantastical element of sports while also still being in the realm of possibility. That's how that era feels to me.
If you want early 2000s, if you want the optimism of the end of history, Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that definitely works for sure.
Yeah, I still think the most impressive thing is that we've had 3 Sonic movies and none of them have played City Escape yet.
Is it not in Sonic 3?
No.
Wow.
Live and Learn is in that, but not City Escape.
Sonic 3 is a movie that made me think the ridiculous thought of this movie is disrespecting the legacy of Sonic Adventure 2. It's not doing the story as good.
Let's see. I'm looking at other stuff on here. Jet Set Radio's 2000. Jet Set Radio's a good one.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, definitely.
Gran Turismo
Burnout
4 or 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Burnout Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
That's too late.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Burnout 3 though.
Yeah.
The Def Jam fighting games.
Oh,
Definitely.
hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. Bring that back, please.
Yeah.
Bring back the Fight for New York style. Fuck.
What's a game that has you like living an ordinary life in the early 2000s?
I don't know.
The Herbs, Sims in the City.
I like the GBA version of that a lot. That's pretty good.
A dog's Whoskow in the chat is just pointing out that this is just a PS2 greatest hits list, but also exactly. Yeah, because the PS2 was the good console at the time. Like, yeah, that's the answer.
Fucking the origins of like the 2K sports games back when they were actually good. On the
Jack and
Dreamcast.
Daxter and Ratchet and Clank are definitely in that vein for sure. I don't know about like Sly Cooper is its own thing, but like I still feel like Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank are more that vibe that Maverick is talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say those are the answers that I would give. The PS2 is a good console.
Final Fantasy X.
Sure. Yeah. All right. And then we will move on to Solon here, who asked, should we do daylight savings every day so that there are more hours in the day for gaming? I think they should agree on a single time and then keep it there and not shift it ever again. I think they need to stop doing this because it's bullshit, and I hate it.
God,
Agreed,
we just need Washington to adapt a thing, and then the rule comes into effect that the West Coast stops doing it. Oh.
Yeah, we'll fucking see. I
hate daylight savings shit. I hate changing my clock. I hate all of it.
Would you rather have permanent daylight savings or permanent normal time?
Permanent daylight saving. Permanent what time it is right now, because it means reset in Final Fantasy XIV is at midnight instead of 1 a.m. so that I can do my raids and go to bed at a decent hour.
There you go.
I genuinely just I just want them to just do one. I don't care which one. Just pick one and keep it. You can do whatever you need to do otherwise. I mean, like, give me more time to sleep. Whichever one gives me more time to sleep, I would say. But
yeah,
otherwise, no. Just stop doing it. I'm done. I'm sick and tired. Stop messing with me every 6 months.
Yeah.
All right, anyone in chat? We're gonna give you a little bit more time to ask a question. If you we're gonna go through our little ending rigmarole, and then if we if we hit the end of that and we got no more questions, we'll just end it. So thank you so much everyone for checking in. As usual, if you want to support us, we have a variety of ways to do so. You can look at our website, which is gamesline.net. We will have some new reviews and some VODs coming up in the coming days for some streams, as well as Rose has got a review coming up. If you want to follow us on social media, it's gamesline.net on Blue Sky. We also have our Tumblr, gamesline.tumblr.com. We have our YouTube page, which is where you can, be kept abreast of all the VODs and the like, which will be on youtube.com/@the Gamesline. You have to remember, you have to put the @ in there. Which, again, I'm still, I bring this up every time now, but I'm so shaken that it is just the @ that doesn't have a name, Like, it's not like ampersand. You would think that it has, like, a name, right? It's just the @ And if you want to watch this live, if you're listening to this after the live show, if you're listening to this on the podcast feed, you can go to twitch.tv/GameslineTV every Sunday at 6 EST. That will be when we stream these live. Or you could just sign up to follow us on your podcast listening app of choice. We're on pretty much everything, so just go ahead, hop on Gamesline Podcast on there. We have... okay, Maverick has a question. We'll hop on that real quick. What's a game that would have been sensible to release in the past 10 to 15 years that is a lot more worthwhile to release now? This is inspired by the Avatar fighting game being cooked up.
Ooh.
So like something that would have been like a movie cash-in kind of thing. Because like they made so many Avatar games while that was airing, and they had to rush it because it was while it was airing. But now it's like, oh yeah, no, we have like we could base it on the entirety of Avatar and Korra, and it's years later, so we can take our time. That kind of stuff, I'm guessing, is what you're saying.
Tough one.
I mean, like there's I would say just like a lot of like long running franchises and stuff where it's like it's not necessarily tied to something like like there's bad to decent Batman games, and then when they finally just went, we're just going to randomly make a Batman game instead of tying it to a movie or whatever, then they made a really good one. So yeah. It's just basically that. Yeah, it's just like I guess the answer is just like, what are other games that are like that where it's cashing into gameplay? Yeah, like Maverick saying, cashing into nostalgia and gameplay that people would be into instead of just tie it into thing.
I have one that I think would have done incredibly well if it was released right now. Instead of when it was released. It did pretty well when it came out, but the Transformers War for Cybertron and its sequel, those games fucking ruled. And the first one came out at the right time that Transformers was still like hadn't been killed, had all its enthusiasm killed by Michael Bay introducing the Romeo and Juliet law. And like, but like that's, yes, give me the fucking, give me those War for Cybertron games now instead of when they need to
relist those. They that would be great.
I think those games would have done fucking gangbusters if they came out now.
Same with Devastation. Like Platinum, that was like Platinum's flop era.
And that was the best Platinum game for like years.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Still in their like flop era, because again, yeah, they made that like shitty Korra game. They made that shitty TMNT game, but they cooked with Transformers at least.
Yeah.
Like they gave us that at least. Like I'm glad that they didn't tie the Sony Spider-Man game to the movie.
Yeah,
because I don't think Tom Holland could carry a game, but
I mean, I think he could. He was the warrior of. He became the warrior of darkness.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He did the Final Fantasy 14 ads like 8 years ago, and they were genuinely funny.
Okay, I believe you. Go ahead, Crystal.
What if they released Final Fantasy X-2 today, and it was the same?
Oh, fuck.
It was like an after years type thing where, yeah, we're making it the same as the old one.
Just like, capture that K-pop Demon Hunters energy.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it would do fucking huge.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting, like Invincible's still going on, but like another fighting game that they're doing is that Invincible fighting game, and that definitely feels like something that they could have released right when that show came out, and instead it's like, no, it's like 3 or 4 seasons in or whatever, and they're getting like a really talented team to make it, and like I'm not an Invincible fan, but it's definitely like, oh, okay, it seems like they do give a shit in some aspects, which is nice. I mean, yeah, it's like as close to this scenario as possible while this thing is airing, but I think that's also just
capturing everything I hate about Invincible really, really well.
Sure, but but I mean, I think also part of it is that it takes them like 3 years to make a season of that show, so that's also probably why. Any other ones, or shall we finish wrapping this up?
Well, he's got one more in there. What cartoon makes the Pick 3 roguelite?
I mean, I immediately thought of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Because
that's good. That's a good one.
That's fucking good. I would do an Ed, Ed, and Eddie roguelite.
Yeah.
Roguelite. The second you upgrade Plank, you're fucking off to the races.
Okay, so it's not just the Eds. You're saying that it's like you would play as other characters, or they borrow Plank from Johnny. Is that what you're saying? Ed cells. That's really good, Maps. That's really good. Fuck. That's really good. Rogue Edicy. All right. Yes, if you want to support quality journalism like this, where we come up with, or where one of our staff writers comes up with Ed and Eddie puns for roguelites, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/gamesline. And if you pay $3 a month, you get access to our anime podcast, Unlimited Railworks, a whole week early. The newest episode, we were gonna record it last week, and then things were very busy. So we're maybe gonna record it this week. It kind of depends on how things are shaking out. We're I don't want to blow up anybody's spot, but some of our staff is in New York. I guess I'll just leave it at that. Things are very busy right now in New York.
Yes,
and good luck for sure on that end. And if you want to hang out and chat with us, we're in our Discord server, thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser, bring you straight there. And you can hang out with us. You can tell us your ideas for the Rogue Edicy game, Ed Cells. We're open to ideas. And thank you to Melt.Channel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And this coming Friday, the 7th, is going to be Bandcamp Friday, so we got ahead of it this time. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 5 days to save up your dough and buy some music off of Bandcamp. Check out all kinds of stuff. You get to own music, and you get to actually give the money to the artists. So you're not just dumping pocket change into their hand and just giving all the money to CEOs.
Ooh.
They get the money this time. So do that. Just in general, if you like music. Lorelai, where can people find you?
You can find me all over the internet. Twitch.tv/JudgmentScythe, JudgmentScythe.blueskysocial.social. And if you're in the Northwest next weekend, you'll be able to find myself and my girlfriend at Geek Girl Con in Seattle.
Thank you to women. Crystal, where can people find you?
You can find me at Arcane Crystal on Blue Sky. Next Sunday from 1 a.m. to 11 a.m., I will be doing a charity marathon stream playing Demon Souls at twitch.tv/videoentropy.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. We'll, let everybody else know about that as well. You can find me, john.gamesline.net on Blue Sky. Feel free to follow me on there and reply to all of my posts and tell me that I'm normal, because that'll hopefully help me do good things online. We'll see how it goes though, because at this point, I don't know. Just john.gamesline.net. And that should do it. We're all out of stuff to talk about this week. Really appreciate y'all hanging out, and really appreciate y'all who downloaded this. If you want to come back next week, that would be lovely, because we will be back next week with another episode of the Gamesline podcast. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.